clumsy. I think Eastern Suburbs will and can improve 100% on that. The week off just hasn't helped them. Their handling in that first half I thought was awful, and I really honestly believe they will improve 100%. I don't think Parramatta can.
Closeness of the scores made it an interesting game, but it wasn't great football. I think the occasion got to both teams. But Parramatta, you've certainly got to give it to them. They've got a lot of heart, and I think there were a few blunders made there yesterday tactically by both sides, and I suppose in the end those 2 goal kicks by Cronin saved what would have been a barrage of criticism.
Yes, but I'm the leader of the band. I'm the Sister Anna carrying the banner about Mick Cronin in the Sydney Cricket Ground, but that didn't dispel my doubts about Cronin yesterday. That wasn't pressure, the pressure that I'm talking of. I'm talking about a grand final pressure, and he's still got to prove it in a grand final, and I wish him well. I hope that his football career in Sydney doesn't go out on the note that under pressure of a grand final he buckles.
Just maybe case that criticism's just what he needed, because he's obviously concentrating very hard on his kicks now. He lines them up and he just says, I'm not going to miss them.
Well, good luck to him. But Frank, I'm going to give some more criticism now, and I'll give it before we can get too far into this. I cannot understand how Hastings, for the first time this season, did not use the tactical kicks. I cannot understand how Hastings, a fortnight before, had played so brilliantly. He had a week off, a week's rest. He won the Dally M Award during the week, was runner-up the previous week in the Rothman Medal, and I thought Hastings had the lowest game that he's had in 5 years of Sydney first-grade football. Frank?
He won the Rothmans Medal. He won. He wasn't runner-up.
Oh, sorry.
I agree. He had a
low game,
a lower than normal game, but
didn't kick at all.
No, I'll tell you why. Because he's dropped the ball 22 times, and if you haven't got the ball and you haven't consistently got it, you can't kick it.
Yes, but they had plenty of penalties. Case was talking about using the tactical kicking that and they had plenty of ball from scrums and everything too. But I feel that the game was close yesterday because Manly, Eastern Suburbs weren't as good as they were the last time they played Parramatta, and Parramatta improved 100%. I thought it was a good game. I enjoyed it with all the faults that were there, the dropping of the ball and all that sort of thing, but I'm sure Harvey won't want to remember that game for too long, and many of the other Eastern Suburbs players too. They will improve. They must improve if they're going to go any further than the
It was a good game because it held your interest throughout, didn't it?
Well, if we're going to hold the viewers' interest, let's show them some tape. Now, here's the match coming up, and the first controversial incident came after 11 minutes. Now, this pass was ruled forward and a no try. Now, if you think that one's controversial, wait to have a look at the one that Hilditch went in for a try on.
That wasn't controversial, though.
Well, I think it was forward. Definitely a forward pass. Now, here's Gitto just on half-time, pulled down short of the line. The ball here didn't go over the line at any stage, so there's no way it could be a try.
And he didn't play it forward.
But at the time, he played it forward, and it looked as though it was controversial. But Hartley was right again on this occasion. Here it is head on.
See how he played the advantage, really? Could have given at least a penalty there. The Parramatta players lying all over the tackle player.
Now, we go to 3 minutes into the second half, and the fairy tale comes true. Hastings to Laurie, and Laurie, after 8 weeks in reserve grade, goes in to make it 5-0. At this stage, each look to be home and hose. Look at the way Laurie goes past Price here.
Yeah, well, very fresh and fit Rocky Laurie.
That's right. Replacements, Jack, replacements.
Against a player that just didn't let up in that first half.
Here's the controversial pass from Kenny, back to the left. Now, Hilditch was offside. Doesn't matter that he collared the ball in. Hilditch was indeed offside. He was in an offside position to begin with. Look.
Gee, there's not an inch in that.
I don't think so either.
Not an inch.
I've seen it 10 times now, and I still don't know whether he's offside or not. The ball travelled along that line, Case.
Yes, but he was offside.
No, he wasn't. He's not in front of that line.
He was.
And Kenny was on the line.
Stand there and wait for Kenny to come to him.
Kenny was on the line, and so was Hilditch.
Okay.
This is the turning point.
This is the turning point of the game. This is Sterling not put down by Fay, ultimately yes. Quick hands by Ella, onto Growth. Growth goes in. That made it 8-5. Now we come to the 37th minute. We'll see that one again head on, I think, because that, you're quite right, Sterling had a superb game.
And
Warnicky missed him badly.
Terry Fay had him and then let him go. Look at this.
Terry.
The smallest player in the field.
Yeah.
And there's the even up with the elbows in the back. Thank you. Now, 16 minutes gone, and that was the try. And now, with a couple of minutes to go in the match, here is O'Reilly taking it up close to the line.
That's the most vital aspect of the game. If he could have scored there, it would have been handy for Gitto to kick the goal, but they had to go wide.
What inexperience, no one out there to cover. Growth was standing in amongst the forwards.
Yeah, watch where Growth is here.
Yeah.
There he is, number 5. Dummy half.
But there's great
marker.
disarray in the Parramatta line-up here because they had 4 new players on.
Yeah,
and
they're
they
all
didn't
in a
know if they
bunch
were Arthur
there.
or Martha.
No, I thought that was a major blunder, taking off
Now,
O'Reilly
extra
and Price.
time, and at this stage, Edge officially protested that a 7th tackle try had been made by Gitto, and that took us into the situation, the final 10 minutes. Now we're looking at Des O'Reilly trying to steal the ball from Muggleton. Cronin kicked the goal after 2 minutes, and it became 10-8.
These really brought themselves unstuck, didn't they, these two penalties?
They didn't deserve to win, Jeff. Now, look at this. Harvey's over the top with the swinging arm after 6 minutes. It's 12-8. Cronin finished up kicking 3 from 4. It was the ball game, 12-8. Eastern Suburbs going down to Parramatta in that major semi-final. Now, I've been a little bit hard on a few players there, gentlemen, but really, there were so many stupid things done in that match that the questions have to be asked.
That's right.
Well, certainly East have got to ask how, first of all, John Harvey threw a silly pass and then gave away a ridiculous penalty in extra time, and that was ultimately the difference in 100 minutes of football, those two mistakes.
There's only 2 goals of difference, Ron, and yet Parramatta did a lot less silly things than what Eastern Suburbs did.
Exactly.
Now, you know Eastern Suburbs can eliminate all that, and by
Look,
God,
I think
they
Eastern
will.
Suburbs are still good things. I think that they will come back and do it the hard way as they did in the other 2 premierships they've
There
won.
will be changes to that side.
There has to be.
But even at half-time, without any points on the board for either side, I still think Parramatta was the better side after 40 minutes of play.
Yeah.
On an error count basis or on a play basis?
On a play basis.
Yeah, I'm
Case.
inclined to agree with you.
Well, I thought
now,
their players performed better. I mean, you look at the number of players at Sterling, Hilditch, Price, O'Reilly, Muggleton. I mean, they were good performances.
I think
Now,
Muggleton's
let's have a look.
inclusion in the side was a blessing for
It
Parramatta.
was, as it turned out. Now, let's have a look at the controversy of Gitto's try being scored on the 7th tackle. Here was conclusive proof that it was scored on the 6th tackle. Now, if you watch it, here's the play coming up.
Or either boosted.
Now,
Tackle.
That's one tackle.
now there's no, it's no tackles yet.
No.
We've got to start yet. There's the penalty. Now we have the tap, and this is where the Parramatta Bardwinkle or whoever it was who gave the information, he counted the tap as a tackle. Well, it's not. Now that is 1 tackle. 2. Somebody start counting, because I lose it after 3.
Well, we haven't got to 3.
Yeah, we have got.
That's 3 now.
See, I've lost it already.
There's 3.
Greg, come and give me some lessons, will you?
Hope Michael's not watching this. Here comes 4.
Michael, by the way, is my 7-year-old. Now here it is.
It's 5, Ron.
5.
It's Des O'Reilly.
Right. Now we're on the 6th tackle.
He's got the right signal.
That he has. There's no doubt in the world that was a legitimate try. But we come to the fact, and I want to deal with this quickly because I have other things I want to talk about, that the Rugby League doesn't seem to be able to make rules that fit the occasion. They knocked back Parramatta in 1978 from their protest after the match with Manly that was refereed by Hartley because, indeed, there was no protest made during the match. Now we have the situation where they did protest during the match, as it turned out incorrectly, and people are saying today that it was, a standover tactic to intimidate Greg Hartley in those final 20 minutes.
I personally think, Ron, the point you make is very valid, but I think Hartley's a much bigger man than to be intimidated by an action such as that. He's had a lot of experience, he's refereed a lot of grand finals. I think he would have taken that protest in his stride.
I think it was a harassment by the Parramatta camp, and I think
But excuse me, they had to do it, or else they didn't have a legal leg to stand on.
Well, I'd like to know how, and I've heard rumours that a cricket ground member in the bar, looking at the replay of the try, counted 7 tackles. He obviously doesn't know the rules, and from that, Parramatta went, and the instruction went out for the protest. Now, you know, if that's how Parramatta are so obsessed with the man that refereed yesterday, I think that they were harassing him, and I think that the league should do something about it.
No, I disagree completely. You can't have it both ways, Peter. If the league says that you must protest while the match is on in order to have some legal comeback after the match,